Hello again, I am Blunty. Breaking news today, Twitch wants to ban you from Twitch for things you didn't do on Twitch. And actually, I think it's a great idea. So, Twitch, more than any other platform, at least any other platform that I use regularly, and I do stream on Twitch, please follow me over on twitch.tv/Bluntnate, but Twitch, more than most other platforms out there, relies on a sense of community because it is all live. It is all continual live interaction between broadcaster and audience back and forth constantly. So that sort of naturally generates a lot of very strong and very interactive communities, certainly more so than YouTube. YouTube used to be pretty good about the community thing. Used to be a lot of back and forth in the comments, used to be a lot of back and forth between different creators and doing, video responses back and forth. And that gradually sort of drained away as YouTube became what it is these days. And these days, the sense of community on YouTube is basically nothing. On Twitch, it still is though, because again, that live thing sort of engenders a lot more of that sense of community and conversation and back and forth and sort of building these relationships. But because of that very same, heavily community focused live as it happens kind of nature, there also has been a lot of crap that's gone down on Twitch when it comes to harassment because, shitty people like harassing people on Twitch because they can see the reaction live. I mean, when people are shitty to me in the comments here on YouTube, they never see me react to it because I normally just delete it and nobody ever sees it ever again. But on Twitch, these, self-styled trolls, doing it for the lols or, whatever excuse they have for being shitty people, get to see the reaction live. And that's what they're after. It doesn't really generally work on me because I'm pretty stone-faced to that stuff after, 15, 16, what has it been, 17 years of doing this, content creator gig thing. But what they want is to see that expression change on their face. They want to get a reaction. It's like a 2-year-old, being shitty for the sake of being shitty because they know that it's guaranteed attention from either or both parents because they know if they draw on the wall, hey, everything's all about me for the next 5 minutes. Ha ha! They don't care whether it's good or bad attention. This is the same mentality of these trolls. This is a 2-year-old mentality. This is an incredibly, immature sort of brain space that they live in to get to do this sort of stuff. But Twitch has been working on the various policies to sort of control, curb, and punish and prevent this kind of behavior for a long time. It's very difficult to do on a live streaming service, but they're, in general, they're doing their best, or at least with the best of intentions. And earlier this year, they released a new bunch of slightly more specific policies, because their policies used to be very, very grey and vague before. Now they're getting a little more specific about it. So when people are behaving in very specific ways, they go, that's against the terms of service, and you're out of here. And other stuff is left intentionally grey, because if you make everything hyper specific and you list out every single particular behavior, explicitly and specifically, then all people are going to do is find the loophole. They go, oh, you didn't mention this little loophole there. That's mine. I can be as big of a dickhead as I like in this little loophole. You didn't mention it in your terms of service. So that's why I'm moving on. But today, Twitch has released another statement on their blog post with another update to their policies, talking about addressing these kinds of behaviors that happen off of Twitch as well. And they're doing this in 2 ways. The first way is behavior that happens on Twitch and off Twitch. And the second type is behavior that happens entirely off Twitch. And these are 2 separate policies, and they're enforced and regulated very, very differently. The first one is continued harassment, basically. If someone is a dick to someone else on Twitch, harassing them in whatever way, and they get banned from, the Twitch channel, as you probably will be, but then you continue to try and harass them on Twitter or whatever, then Twitch will take both those incidents into account and go, well, okay, they were a dick here, they got banned for it, didn't learn that lesson, they were a continual dick here, so what we're going to do is ban them off Twitch because they're clearly a trash toilet person who we don't want in our service because, well, obviously they're just going to continue to harass more people because that's who they are, apparently. So get rid of them. The second part of this policy is the stuff that happens entirely off Twitch. This gives them a window to get people off the platform or prevent people from getting on the platform in the first place that are already known to be tremendously shitty people. They've listed out a few things here, starting with the obvious things like, terrorists and leaders for hate groups and kiddie fiddlers and people who carry, well, I'm going to read you their wording because it's very clean, carrying out or acting as an accomplice to non-consensual sexual activities and or sexual assault. Rape! They don't want rapists on their system. But then you get to the stuff that's going to be slightly more common for them to actually enforce, and it goes like this. Actions that would directly and explicitly compromise the physical safety of the Twitch community, such as threatening violence at a Twitch event. So if you're going to say, oh, I'm coming to TwitchCon and I'm going to set fire to all the toilets, well, they can use that to sort of keep you off the platform permanently. Is that a deterrent? And then there's the one that goes explicit and or credible threats against Twitch, including Twitch staff. So if you see those people out there who always threaten violence against, you know, the people who handle the Twitch Twitter account, for example, because, you know, they announce something or they ban someone that, you know, they don't think should be banned, or they won't unban something you think you should be unbanned, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And they start threatening, you know, violence. I'm going to come to your house and shave your cat, or something worse than that. Probably a lot of things worse than that. Although coming home to an inexplicitly shaved cat would be something of a shock. Coming home to an inexplicitly shaved pussy, it's... Moving on. So now I'm sure a lot of people are going to be sort of up in arms about this. Oh, you should only care about the stuff that happens on your side. I don't feel like I should be held accountable for things I do over there, for things that I'm doing over here inside your house. Well, that's just the way the world should work, as far as I'm concerned. Like, let's use a metaphor. I'm in my own home right now, my little apartment, my tiny little Sydney apartment. If I know you are a dickhead, I'm not going to invite you to come into my place. If I know you are a dickhead and you knock at my door, I'm going to tell you to F the hell off. If you are already inside my house for whatever reason and you are a dickhead there, I'm going to tell you to F off. And next time you come back, I'm not going to let you back in. I don't want that situation here. If I know you're a tool, whether it happens inside or outside of my home, then you're not coming to my home again. That's basically the gist of it. To use another metaphor, in a more public space, you're in a pub, all right? There's someone who's a tremendous dickhead next to you, screaming at you, making fun of your choice of drink or something. You know, he thinks you're homosexual because your drink is lovely and pink and sweet and delicious. Sorry, what a weird example. Well, if this guy's a big enough dick, the bouncer might come along and go, hey, rack off, guy, or hey, knock it off, or I'm going to kick you out. That's the bouncer's job, to keep things chill inside the pub. If this guy is a continual asshole, then he'll probably be banned from. The bouncer won't let him in next time he wants to come for a drink at his favorite watering hole. That's how that works. And if, for example, let's go wild here and say Hitler was still alive, you know, crumbly old man Hitler hops up to the bar in his little walking frame, and the bouncer goes, hey, you're Hitler. You did some bad stuff. I remember that. You're not coming in here. Well, that's kind of the same thing again. Point is, if you are worried about what these new policies mean to you or someone you like, then that probably means you or someone you like is a pretty trash person to begin with. Because if you're not a trash person, you don't go around randomly harassing people, or even specifically harassing people, you know, more to the point, on any platform. If you are a shitty person, a bully, a troll, a harasser, an abuser, then of course you should be worried about these policies. Being held accountable for your actions, knowing you're a shitty person and doing nothing about being a shitty person, probably scares the hell out of you. Anyway, I've said my piece. This is the part of the video where I go, well, let me know what you think. Aren't you tired of hearing that at the end of videos? I try to avoid saying that. Well, let me know what you think. I'm so sick of hearing it at the end of almost every YouTube video I ever watch. Let me know what you think. Also, while we're on that, the YouTubers who do sort of super long introductions and then they go, oh, without further ado, listen for that word, without further ado. So many YouTubers use it. It's such a lazy segue. So lazy. Just get good at being content person thing, like me. Blondie. Thank you for the patrons who do tolerate my idiot bullshit. And not only that, but support me above and beyond the Call of Duty, which is a shit game, by the way. Haha, gamers triggered. Done. Nailed it. Everyone's angry at me now.